So delighted to be joined by Irish Darts player Willie O'Connor. Willie's been a tough year for many people, and of course on the sporting front as well. Darts has kept going. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's tough all around, but look, I suppose we're lucky enough that the PDC found a way to make it work, and actually, look, things could be worse.
Yeah, they have done well, and they haven't really cut the prize money either. Like, they've done quite well considering the circumstances.
Yeah, that's it. Like, a fair play to them, Barry Hearn and all the lads. They bent over backwards there for us, and fair play to them. They made it work when most others would have probably just given up. They made it work.
How have you found the behind closed doors aspect? Obviously, you would have been used to from the Players' Championships, the sort of the on the floor, but the actual sort of bigger tournaments, how have you found it behind closed doors?
Funny, I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. It's almost an eerie silence. It's actually more off-putting than anything I've ever experienced. Is that it's a deafening silence. It's very hard to focus. Like, I mean, you'd imagine, like, when you have the crowds in your back and when you have everything going against you, you're thinking, I'd sooner without the crowd. And then when you have it without the crowd, you're thinking, I'd rather have the crowd, because
yeah.
If you're having a bit of a bad go of it, you get the adrenaline rush when the crowd start getting on you a bit, and it kind of helps you get back in the game. But no, it's tough. I find it very tough now without the crowd.
Yeah, because I think he had was the Europeans over the European Championship. There was a few fans in, but even watching that didn't really make much of a difference. It was just nearly like they were kind of cut across or cut away from the stage even further, and it was nearly like they were at a cinema nearly.
That's right, yeah, that's right. Look, fair play to everyone that turned up. It's only a pity that they couldn't fit more into the hall at the time. But look, listen, things are coming back right now, hopefully, and hopefully by the end of the summer, things will come back to some sort of normality, and we start getting crowds back in and start enjoying it a bit more as well.
Yeah, because interesting, you say you obviously prefer the crowd, and I think Gerwyn Price and Michael Van Gerwen have said that as well. But it's nearly probably caused more upsets, because there's been a lot of players who've actually won their first title this year, and probably they enjoy the no crowd aspects of it.
Yeah, that's it. Like, look, some people do well with no crowd. Some people do well with a crowd. It's funny, like, because you have some players who play out of their skin on the floor tournaments, and they just can't do it on the stage. You have other players who struggle on floor tournaments, and they play their best games on the stage.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know, like, isn't it? Look, I suppose, if you're going to take advantage of it while you can do it. But I think once the crowds come back, I think things are going to change again.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But from yourself, I suppose, how did you actually get into darts? Because probably no one has nearly from the olden times sort of like a pub game. Would it have been in the pub throwing a few darts to start off with?
Yeah, kind of was out down the pub working there, down having a few drinks as well, and just a friend of mine asked me. He was running a bar here where I'm from, here in Capmore, and he asked me, did I want to play a game, and I said no. I said, I'm not playing a game. And he goes, come on. He said, it's only a fiver. I said, not a hope. I said, whatever. I said, you're all sharks. I'm not playing that bloody game.
Yeah.
And he said, come on, we need one more to make 16. I said, no. He goes, go on. I said, I'll put you in for a fiver. He called me some sort of a miserable sort. And I said, right. I played, and I got lucky, in fairness. I should have got beaten every game, but I got to the semi-final, and it's only a local village tournament, like. And I got a couple of quid, and then the next week I went down and got another couple of quid, and I started saying to myself, I could be making a couple of quid out of this. So I went away and I bought myself a set of darts, and I started practicing, and I started winning them then after a while, and I went from that then to the county scene, and started playing for Limerick and Ireland and the Irish under-21s, and I made the Irish men's team after that. Look, a few things happened there. I didn't get a chance to play, but I made a decision then to move from there to the PDC and give it a go. I don't think I was ready to go to the PDC, because I think I was only playing darts about 4 years when I decided to go there. But it was a bit much too soon, I think, for me, but kind of getting there now a bit,
Yeah, is it one of the, obviously you need to practice for hours each week, but is it one of those sports that you're either naturally gifted at it or you're not?
I don't know if you're naturally gifted. I think it's not that. I think if you can break it down and simplify the game, you can do that as well. Like, a lot of it's just repetitive, If you can make a throw simple, it'll probably work for you. Like, and then you need to have the mindset for it. Have you got a strong enough mind that you can withstand losing all the time and keep coming back thinking you can win, knowing that, you know, you can get some fantastic dart players and they can't accept that loss, and it ruins them, you know. And you have to accept losing before you can win.
Yeah, and even getting the right throw probably is something as well. You know, even for myself, you throw a 3 and then you go with a different style. Like even just getting that, you said, repetitive style, just getting in the rhythm of it.
Yeah, well, what I used to do was I'd often look at the top players, and although they're all different, I'd try and look at them and say, what do they all do that's the same? And I take a little bit from it, and I try that, and if it makes sense, I try it. It's just trying different things and changing darts and changing where you hold them, and you know, look, I suppose once the fundamentals are right, and you want to have a good solid stance and a good follow through, and your throw is simple enough. There's not too much movement going on. I don't think you go too far wrong.
Yeah, and even the math side of it, you don't have to be a mathematician or anything for it, but it's probably not that major once you can get into the rhythm of it.
It isn't. You don't. Like, I mean, you don't. You don't even have to be able to count once you can remember. Once you can remember, like, because it's all repetitive. Like, I mean, just because you go in and hit triple 16, if you're on 64, you don't go, what's 3 16s leaves 2 8s. You don't think. It's just you know that if you hit that, it leaves that. You don't calculate anything. It's just repetitive.
Yeah, the early days of the PDC, probably was the World Cup, because you've appeared at every World Cup. That was probably your sort of big stage experience in the early days, and probably the last 3 or 4 years you've managed to get further into tournaments and be more consistent on the bigger stage. Yeah,
that's it. Look, it's exactly it. You need experience, and if one thing you can't buy is experience. You have to go through the ups and the downs of it.
Yeah, your first title was Players Championships against Nathan Aspinall a couple of years ago. Like the Player Championships, obviously they're doing it now in bulks. Can it be mentally draining playing so many games all in one day?
Not really, no. Like it can be. It can be. Like, I mean, if you start to struggle, it'll be mentally draining. But once the darts are flowing for you and everything's going okay, you'll keep going. You know, there's no problem. You go all day long. We're all playing darts long enough now that we can just keep going. If you want to play all day for 15 hours, we'd manage it. You know, obviously you'd struggle after that, like, but no, you've no problem. Once the darts are flowing and everything's going right for you, you won't be tired. You won't be anything. It's just when you start to struggle a little bit in certain times and you have to focus a little bit harder or try a little bit harder, it just drains you a little bit more. The one thing to do is make sure that you're eating enough and eating right and eating healthily, and keep the energy levels high. That's it. And after that, you'll be fine. Yeah, because probably 2019 was your best year probably on paper with that win. And then obviously the World Cup with Steve Lennon, probably a tournament you look back with fond memories. Yeah, I suppose. Not yet in time. I suppose when I retire, I don't look back. I try never to look back, only look forward, to be honest with you. I don't think you learn anything from looking back. I think you just have to look forward and keep trying to progress and move forward. Yeah, because it was a great run. I mean, you got England in the second round, and obviously England had Rob Cross and Michael Smith, or wherever in the top 4 or 5 in the world at the time. And probably your best TV performance was against Rob Cross, was a 115 average. It's kind of one of those games where you average that high, you know, like a GA match. Something is like whenever you get the ball, you put it over the bar. Just everything you sort of hit that, you just went in. Yeah, that's it. Look, that's it. A small bit of winding up before the game as well went on. So I said he wound me up, and I just that was his own fault. Yeah, and I mean even Austria in the next round are tricky opponents with the likes of Menzer there, and then the Netherlands in the semis with Michael and Jermaine Motamine isn't no pushover either. Like, so it was a tough run to get to that final. We basically had the whole Premier League to contend against, like, from start to finish, you know. And we done well, like, in fairness, you know. It was a pity it ended the way it did, but lots of lessons learned, and hopefully we get another crack at it. Yeah, it's probably a pity that maybe, I think he had the semi-final second. Scotland got that bit of a break, and he kind of had to just mentally get ready again for the final. We were a small. tired, and yeah, as you say, we needed an hour break really, just to get something to eat, because we had a long day, and we had much to eat. We're low on energy and low on your focus is fairly diminished in,
Yeah, because I
That's
mean,
that's one thing.
you and Steve kind of had it was a good partnership. I think the way you complements each other in the doubles matches with the set. Steve would set up something for you, would leave you on double top or something, get 180, 177s. Look, it really worked in them, especially in the doubles.
Yeah, that's it. Look, I think we gel well together. We get on well, and yeah, that's it. I suppose you have to get on well together, and you can see that in some of the pairs where you see two players, and they kind of they don't see eye to eye, but they have to play it together, and they never, no matter how good they are, it just never works.
Yeah.
You have to gel well together and get on well together, and know that win, lose or draw, you tried your best, you shake hands and say well done.
Yeah, and then later, but that got you into the Grand Slam as well, which was another bonus. Obviously, probably from your personal point of view, it didn't end the way you want going out with the group.
Yeah, actually, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. What can you do?
Yeah, and then the actual Players' Championships finals, quarter final as well that year against Ian Weiss. I think was that 10-9.
Yeah, threw that away, didn't I?
Yeah,
I should have won that one.
Yeah, because you kind of had a lot of them sort of games where you just get to them last leg deciders, and you just might just miss out on that last leg.
Yeah, I know. I suppose, look, at least I'm going the right way. I'm starting to get a little bit more consistent. So, look, it'll come. I'm sure it'll come. And if not, I'll be knocking on the door of it.
And that's exactly it. You'd rather probably get into them positions than be out of it completely, and eventually it will happen.
That's it. Look, I suppose I'm grateful to be able to be in the position I'm in and get out there and compete at least, especially, as you say, the way things are at the moment. People aren't leaving their homes. At least I'm getting out. I'm able to go out there and try and earn a living.
Yeah, and the Worlds itself, I think you had a comfortable, was it 3-0 win in the first game, and then the draw probably didn't sit well. It wasn't the best draw at the time. It was Gerwin Price, who was probably going into that Worlds. He was probably the best in the world. He won the Grand Slam. And it was, again, you played really well that night. And you might look back and think you probably should have got over the line.
Yeah, that's it. I should have, for sure. I don't even know what happened. I came off the stage and the lads looked at me and said, "What did you do with the double?" I goes, "What double?" The double two. I said, "What double two? You mean double four?" He goes, "Double two." I don't even know what you're talking about, is it? So even though I went for the wrong double, I hadn't a clue.
Yeah.
I actually hadn't a clue. If I went back in for another shot, I would have went straight for the same thing. I don't know why or what. I can't answer it, and I don't regret it because I do the same thing again. I don't know what it was, so I have no regrets. No idea. Tried my best, and I suppose, look, it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, and I suppose the actual shot you took didn't even go in anyways, and that's what you were upset about or angry on the stage. So, I mean, even if you got the first double one and thought you could have at least maybe got a second one, but nothing went in anyways.
No, if the first one went in, and he said to me, "You'll have double one left," I probably would have went down on my knees and I said, "We'll do an all exhibition shot here."
Yeah, but that year, obviously, you get the call for the Premier League to be a contender. When they announced they were doing that again, obviously, it's seen Steve earlier that year do very well against Peter Wright. Did you think you had a fair chance?
I kind of thought I was in with some sort of hope for it, but you never know. There's a lot of good players there as well, so you always live in hope, and when I got the shout for it, I couldn't believe it. I was over practicing darts, and I got an email at about 7 or 8 o'clock and said, they asked me did I want to compete, and I said, definitely, and I was dancing around the place. I couldn't believe my luck. Yeah,
because I was there that night, and compared to maybe like the City West where the Grand Prix is, like the Premier League and the three arenas, you can just even tell when you go on the stage and you enter, it's just a completely new ball game. It's just
different grades.
Yeah,
it's absolutely unbelievable until you think you've experienced everything until you experience something like that, and it was unreal. It was an unreal night. Very, very hard. I found it very hard to even try and focus. Like it was surreal. Like, I mean, the crowd and the atmosphere and everything was just electric. It was unbelievable. I definitely will never forget that anyway.
Yeah, because be on any Premier League night's great, but to have it was 9 or 10,000 Irish fans in there, your home country, and to play the world number one as well, Michael van Gerwen. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that.
I could ask for the number 60 maybe. It wasn't probably the best draw I could have got, but actually, look, that's the way it goes too. No, at the end of the day, it was one of the best nights I've ever had in the game anyway, regardless of the results. I'll never forget the night, and very grateful for all the Irish fans and everything that turned up that night and gave me the reception I got. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I mean, the walk-ons were remembered by everyone that was there that night. I'm watching on the telly, and probably the telly didn't even do it justice, because it was just the noise in the arena that night was incredible to me. What was the thinking behind it? Was that your idea to go with the walk-on music?
Yeah, that was about 4 or 5 years in the making. I said if I ever got a chance to get into the Premier League, I said I can't waste it. I want to get one shot of this. So when I got the shout, I said I know what I'm doing. I had it visualized in my head, and it was almost identical. Well, you try and prepare yourself for it, but even then, even when I was there, I was like, man, this is unreal, But I visualized the crowd and everything, and I knew the crowd would take to it well and everything. Jeez, it was like it was a dream come true,
Yeah, because it probably helped you with Michael Smith, even hitting the 9 dart. Everyone was on such a high. Michael Smith, the 9 dart beforehand, so everyone was such a high going into that game. And again, it probably took you just a couple of legs to settle down, maybe, and just relax from it, like just the adrenaline from that walk on.
Oh, that was it. Like, I mean, that's that. I think that was the problem with it. It did take me those couple of down, and when I settled down, I was okay. It's a pity I didn't settle down a little bit earlier. It could have been a bit tighter, but I tried my best to hang on in there anyway, and I do my best. As I said, that's all I can do, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's exactly, because Michael van Gerwen, he's not number one now, but he wasn't world number one for no reason. And again, you probably think average, what was it, 95, 96? So I mean, it's not a bad performance at all, and to lose 7-4 to him is no disgrace.
Yeah, actually, look, it was a good night regardless of the result.
Yeah. Did you go out afterwards, or what was the?
No, I didn't. I went back. I had my wife and kids with me. They were first time my kids were ever at a dart tournament. I never brought them to a dart tournament before. It was their first night, and they were buzzing off. They were buzzing off it, So we brought them back. We got them ice cream and a few sweets, and went back to the hotel and had a good night in. That's what we don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, a night like that probably even motivates you even more to try and get better. Can I push myself? Because when you look at the Premier League this year, Johnny Clayton's in there, who was a contender last year, and Josie D'Souza as well. Dimitri is in as well. So I mean, players are getting opportunities, and if you maybe get that major win, you could get there eventually.
Well, that's it. Like, the opportunity is there for everybody. Everyone has the exact same opportunities. Everyone has put in the hard work. If you're willing to put in the hard work, you'll reap the rewards. And obviously, it's not easy, But as you say, yeah, everyone has the same opportunity, and you get up there and just take it with open arms.
Yeah, and I mean, this year, obviously, the Worlds was on behind closed doors. I think, were you on the second day, and the crowd was in the first night? So was it the first behind closed doors day?
Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
I don't like that. It's not the same thing. You might as well be home playing against the computer. It's just, I don't know. It's dull. I suppose is the way of saying it. It's not even real. You know what I mean? It's like just like a game. It's just like a practice game. It's not. Yeah. I don't know. I can't take to it.
And even the fake sort of crowd noise being pumped in, is it loud, or does it put you off, or anything like that?
Kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of stupid enough, like. It's there in the background, like, I know it's not loud at all. It's just kind of there in the background, I suppose, to break the silence. I suppose, look, they do their best, as I say, do their best for the players, but you know, it's at the end of the day, you're up there and you can hear it, like, you know, it's not real, and it's still a dead silence, you know, even with
Yeah.
that kind of.
Yeah. And then the matches themselves, again, a bit like the year before, comfortable enough first round win. And then again, another tricky draw, Daryl Gurney, who probably wasn't playing his best starts going into that tournament, but still a tricky customer all the same.
Yeah, like you say, he wasn't playing his best darts until he came in against me, like, and
Yeah.
he threw some darts there in the first couple of sets,
Yeah.
you know, and I was lucky. I kind of stole the third set and had a good fourth set to get back into it. Again, another, probably at that stage, probably another game I left behind me. But again, he could say the same thing, or he could have wrapped it up a bit earlier. But it is what it is, I suppose, you know. Just get on with it. I was struggling a bit there last year with the whole COVID situation and everything. I stopped practicing at the start of the year and didn't know when we were getting back playing. And you know, it's hard to get up every day and start practicing for something you don't know. You don't know you're going to play for a couple of months, and you're looking going. It's hard to get motivated. It's hard to motivate yourself to get up, and you don't know when you're playing again, or if you're going to play again, or what's going to happen. You know, so I did struggle in the most the last year because of it, because just wasn't putting in the effort, wasn't putting in the time, you know, and probably still struggling a little bit over it, you know. The sooner we get back to normality, I think the better, you know, and give me something to focus on so I can just get back into it maybe a little bit better.
Yeah, I've got a few questions here that a few people sent in just to wrap up. Would there be any other sports that you maybe played when you were younger or that you like watching?
I love watching hurling, yeah. I always will love watching hurling. That's about it. I don't really watch, but I don't watch soccer or anything like that now. Not into it. I don't get it. I kind of like to try and support my own, you know, and I suppose look, each to their own. But I'm kind of old school, I suppose.
Yeah, Limerick had the All Ireland thing just before the Worlds as well, so it was a sort of a nice
Yeah,
little
but
thing to go into it with.
yeah. Look, Limerick are doing very well in the hurling, aren't they, at the minute? So
Yeah,
you know, they're head and shoulders above the rest. Even when they're not in their game, they're still so dangerous. Like, they still look streets ahead. Like, hopefully they can keep it going now, you know, and hopefully we get another couple of years out of it, because
yeah.
it swings and roundabouts. Like, it doesn't stay forever, so we'll enjoy it while we have it.
What would be the best and worst thing about playing darts?
The best and worst thing, I suppose, the best thing is winning loads of money. The worst thing is being away from home from my family. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because I say probably traveling is tough enough when you have to sort of maybe go to them European events as well.
you're gone. Like, I mean, you're gone for weeks and in, like, you know,
Yeah.
even there the last while there, like, just constantly just gone. Just
Mm.
for nearly a month there, I was home for probably a
Yeah.
couple of days and just gone, sitting in a hotel room and you're staring at the four walls. You can't leave. You can't even go to a shop or something. You're stuck in quarantine, like, because you know you can't share a room. You can't share anything. You can't go for breakfast together. You can't go for dinner together with anyone. You're stuck in looking at the four walls until you go out and play a game of darts and you're back in your room again. And that's weeks on end, you know. So that's tricky, and it's not good in the head. I get cabin fever fairly quickly, like.
What would be your favorite double, I suppose, or favorite checkout even?
Oh, definitely just the one that goes in. But I know my favorite finish probably would be, I don't know. I'm not bothered, you know. But the one thing I do know is no one misses nines. Give me double nine, best double on the board.
Leave double nine the whole time.
I'm telling you now, nobody misses nines.
Just don't go inside.
Just don't go inside.
Yeah. And the last question, what would be your toughest match that you played in?
Oh God, I don't know. I had millions of, I don't know. There's nothing really stands out. I mean, the problem with that one is when you're playing well, there's none of them hard. You know, it's only when you're struggling that you find it hard. Even when you lose playing well, you don't find it hard. You find it easy. And you could be playing someone that's averaging 110 or 15, and if you're averaging the same, you don't find it hard. You just think, oh well, that's the way it goes. But probably one that stands out was I was playing Dave Chisnell a few years ago. I left a double after 12 darts in every single leg against the throw. I didn't get a shot. I took out every single leg on my throw in 13 darts, and I lost 6-5. Probably won the. No one's saying that like I was on doubles in 11 and 12, but I took every single one on my throw on 13.
Yeah.
Left the double on his throw. After 12 darts, it barred the first leg. I missed 2 darts for an 11 and 12 darter in the first leg to break him, and that was it. You know, he's a prolific scorer and finisher when he's on his game, like, and that's probably one of the toughest games I probably played, because I played out my skin, like, and lost. You know.
Well, I suppose you could flip as what even your favorite match that you've won.
Favorite match I've won. God, I don't know. Definitely the one in the World Cup against England.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one. Definitely.
Just because it's the English, or just?
No. The banter beforehand, all the slagging Lagarde beforehand, and I said, all right, okay, we'll see, and it was kind of a now who's laughing? Moment, you know.
That's exactly it. But Willie, I really appreciate you coming on, and the best of luck the year ahead.
No bother at all. Thanks very much, Dara.